What up? It's your boy Dave B, watching DaveBeyondTV, where we go beyond that everyday bullshit that people be consuming on a day-to-day basis, and y'all know what it is, man. It's a rainy day, you know what I'm saying? Cool vibes. Niggas is chilling, but you know we gotta kick this motherfucking game. We gotta kick this knowledge. We can't just sit back and be quiet, cause you know the time is now, you know what I'm saying? So big transformations is happening. This new moon is gonna be cool. It's gonna be, well, when I say cool, I just mean like it's gonna, you know, depending on how you play it, it's gonna have some long-lasting impact. You know, this whole year really is, man, I don't know, man. I stay with a perspective that, like, you know, you got to look at your life, right? Now, there's a science behind taking life serious. You don't want to take life too serious to the point where you depress yourself and you make things heavier and more, you know, toxic and destructive than necessary. But there's a science behind, you know, you still have to apply the appropriate amount of care and concern and focus to your life and dedication to your life. You know, when it comes to the life you live, I mean, this is your life. So it's like you have to create value in it. And that's the biggest thing, you know what I'm saying? Now, you have to put the value in to what it is you want to experience. And you have to, you know, stand on that. At times where, you know, it seems like there's no options and there's nothing to do, it's always something that you can do. You know what I'm saying? It's always something you can do. It's always a way to use your energy to, you know what I'm saying, whether it's harnessing things, you know what I'm saying, bringing things to you, you know, and you know, a lot of people, you know, especially like a lot of people will be like, you know, what if I ain't got no purpose, and what if I don't really know my mission and shit like that? That's really no excuse, because at the end of the day, purpose and missions are things that you create and you develop for yourself. You decide for yourself. Nobody can tell you what your purpose is. I don't care how many readings you get. You know what I'm saying? I gotta fix my straps. I don't care how many readings you get. I don't care how much voodoo you practice. I don't care how much witchcraft you think you involved in. The witchcraft itself is convincing you that you don't know. You know what I'm saying? So you got to keep in mind, like, there is no one else's responsibility for not only your life, but also your direction. So you have to decide that, even when it seems like there is no direction and you don't really know, like you uncertain. It's up for you to kind of make that move. You know what I'm saying? It's always on you. And sometimes that pressure could be too much or feel like it's overwhelming. But in those times, you know, you just need a proper release system. So, speaking of systems, that's what this whole transit is. Well, that's what Capricorn teaches us. That's what Saturn shows us. It's systems to everything. So, you know, use this time to develop better systems on how to deal with certain things like stress and anything you working with, dealing with. You know what I'm saying? So getting to the energy. So I made a video with the moon and Sag and shit like that. See, I'm probably going to just talk a little bit about, let's talk about the new moon coming up and how it applies, you know what I'm saying? Because when we consider the moon being in Sagittarius, like it's a matter of expansion. And we're expanding in all forms because it's relationship to the energy in Pisces. You know, it's learning how to put a vision behind that dream and imagination. You know, you might have a real creative idea, and it might just be a strong vibe, like something you're inspired to do. But how do you formulate that? How do you express that? What's the bigger picture behind that? That's the type of things that we're going to be developing for ourselves with the moon in Sagittarius. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be reacting and responding to what the bigger picture and what the potential of things could be. And you know, you want to just make sure you locked into a creative idea and not one of delusion, not one that's going to keep you confused, not one that's going to keep you kind of playing the game of escapism. Because with the sun in Capricorn as well as Mars, we have to apply discipline to our passions, and the better we can apply that discipline, and that looks like, again, it's two forms of Saturn in the sense of restriction. Restrictions that the world places on us and boundaries that we place on the world. And when I say the world, I mean people, places, and things outside of us. And even our own self. You know, sometimes you got to create a boundary with yourself. Like, I'm not going to do this thing that leads me down a road of not being successful in the areas of life that I'm trying to be successful. So there's a certain responsibility we all have for our own actions and views and passions. So, you know, that's the thing right now. Nobody is going to care about your passions. It's going to seem like nobody cares about your passions. Mars is in you know, Capricorn, and honestly, nobody's supposed to care about your passions, and you'll be in the right, you know, if you play this energy right, you'll be in the right perspective to where you can actually, you know, come out on top based upon that determination. If you have the proper level of discipline and you develop the proper systems to accomplish what you're trying to do. And see, that could be difficult too, because you might be like, well, where do I start? How do I know what system to apply to win? And really, it's a matter of you understanding, first of all, what it is you're going through in the first place. Because first step is always awareness. Once you become aware of something, now you can solve the problem. Now you can address the issue because you are aware of it. That's why they say the first step in recovery is admitting you have a problem. Because if you can't admit you have a problem, you're not aware yet of where the thing that you do as a habit or whatever it is affecting you and others' lives, you know what I'm saying? Really your own life, you know what I'm saying? Even if it comes in the form of you hurting people in your family and stuff like that, that's still a form of you realizing, damn, I'm hurting myself. Because when you start to hurt the people around you, this dumbass nigga, man, come on, man. God damn, like this shit. Okay, let me calm down. People be driving like crackheads. It's raining like shit. This nigga gonna pull out in front of me. Say like that was not intelligent. But you know what I'm saying? Drive for yourself and others. That's what they tell you. You know what I'm saying? It's all good, nigga. We in control. But for the most part, that's what I'm saying. So, you know, when you think about hurting the people in your life, you know, think about, because at the end of the day, right, life can be about many different things, but at the end of the day, it's all about expanding yourself and connecting and relating. That's it. Even when you expand yourself, you know, you're gonna want to share that information, even if you feel like you don't, or you feel entitled to it, so you try to be like, oh, I'm gonna play it quiet. A lot of times that's more of a trauma response than how the world works, and we can see time and time again how that just doesn't work at all. You know what I'm saying? When you know something, when you know better, not only do you have to do better, you have to show others that may not know in your space. And if you choose not to, you know what I'm saying, that's a very selfish way to live. But you'll start to see, like, because even in life, they say life is what you make it. You get what you give. You know, all these different things are not just cliche metaphor, not just cliche sayings. These are real life, you know, proverbs, if you will. You know what I'm saying? These are real things that we have to acknowledge and shit like that. So, you know, never downplay your role in society when it comes to offering you what you know, offering what you see, because that's the whole point of even having a sun sign, even having an ego or identity. You know what I'm saying? When we talk about these things, knowing yourself, the better you know yourself, the better you can relate yourself. The first and seventh house, but you know, it's 12 spaces, it's 12 houses that we all need to balance throughout our life. You know what I'm saying? But you know what I'm saying? Y'all know what I'm saying? So even if you think of 12 disciples and they was all doing what? Talking about God, or carrying out what God needed. So you think about your spirit as that God, you know what I'm saying? And again, not to get too confused, I probably shouldn't even said that for most people, because you'll start to think I'm saying you are God. And see, no, you are one of a kind and a piece of all possibilities. You know what I'm saying? So you have the potential to create as God, you know what I'm saying, as an extension of God, you know what I'm saying, of all possibilities. I'll say, let's start using the word God, because it's too heavy of a connotation behind, or a denotation behind, both of them, connotation and denotation behind God. The word is too heavy. You know, you start thinking God, all of a sudden we start thinking, you know what I'm saying, all kinds of crazy things start going in your head. But all I'm saying is, you're a piece of all possibilities that has the ability to create and manifest. So when you're thinking about your circumstances and stuff like that, you're going through your 12 houses, your 12 signs. The zodiac wheel is your access to these human natures, and it's a tool for you to utilize to understand how to not get lost as that spirit that's controlling everything, as that piece of all possibilities. Because think about it, all possibilities being so broad, sometimes this is where people get lost in la la land and get lost in their own delusion, where the people become long lost hippies, or get too involved or too immersed into hermit mode to the point they actually become that old man in the hill that nobody knows about, that just got, you know what I'm saying, that just can't connect to nobody. And now you're too separated from this world that we still supposed to be operating in. God needs you as an example for others, not to hide away with your knowledge and just what? It's almost like a form of masturbating. You know what I'm saying? When you just want to know everything, but you're not here to share nothing. it's like, what's the point of you even being here? Because the knowledge can't stop with you. You know what I'm saying? Nothing is going, and that's a concept too. Nothing is going to stop. Like, well, you know what I'm saying? Curses in general. You know, when we talk about generational curses, and when people are like, oh, it stops with me. That's a real thing. But in terms of like, you know, just gaining knowledge and shit like that, it's like it don't stop with you. It's not supposed to. It's like you're supposed to be here to share what you know and expand the universe. It can't stop with you. You know what I'm saying? The only thing that can stop with you, you know what I'm saying, or the things you wanna put an end to, is more so things that's causing harm amongst you and your family and your bloodline and your spiritual family and stuff like that. Those are the things that you're trying to get rid of and heal. You know, but if you know, and that's part of that to get there is sharing what you know. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, let me get back to the energies and shit. So when we talk about Sagittarius, of course, it's an expansion. So there's expansion, whether it's a form of learning or things of that nature that needs to take place. You know, we got energies that surround a formal whole. So you know, already that's the death. We was experiencing that when it was first in retrograde, and we was experiencing kind of going towards that, right? The death of everything that you thought was real. Now it's going forward with formal hope. So this is also this is more of an initiation of the death. This is more of the understanding that now a new reality has to be created in the place of what died. So this is a slightly different perspective than what might have been taking place when we was dealing with this energy coming off of the retrograde. Off the retrograde, it was more so thinking of how things are now different and how certain things can no longer play out. Now it's about planning for the future. Based upon that vision that you're looking at, okay, if I can see the picture, there's already certain things that have to be put to death. Ideologies, fantasies, imaginations that no longer can survive, or it's either me or it. You know what I'm saying? It's a mindset of being like, it's either me or the very same thing that I'm holding on to as an imagination. This could be forms of self-doubt. This could be forms of you just in the wrong mental space, you know what I'm saying, where it comes to thoughts and feelings. You know what I'm saying? Coming up with the wrong type of emotional connection to certain things, whether it be a moral system or, you know, actual people in your life, or thoughts and feelings. You know what I'm saying? And really, a moral system is just a collection of thoughts and feelings that you abide by as a philosophy. So we have to be very mindful right now of our philosophy of life, like how we're looking at life. You want to really understand your perspective. That way you can start to make adjustments that make sense. You know what I'm saying? Because that's the whole thing at the end of the day. You want to make adjustments that make sense. That's what Capricorn needs you to do. That's the opportunity there. Adjustments that make sense. Ones that actually look like you is directing your energy in the proper area based upon that vision, based upon what you're looking at. And the thing about it is, we all going through a time where we don't really quite know what we're looking at. I mean, you know what you're looking at, but right now the energy going on, it's us trying to make sense out of it. And a lot of what we're trying to make sense of is what has already been demolished, or what we're trying to build in its place. So, you know, when we even think about cardinal energy, cardinal is the spark. And if you think about it, a lot of that energy comes from nothing. Like, it comes from a space of kind of chaos and providing order to it. When it comes to fixed signs, it's about sustaining order. So the order is already kind of presented, and then it's kind of like a matter of how well you can sustain and maintain. Then when we go to mutable, it's about breaking down and getting out of the mold in order to create more fluidity. So if you understand, like, so if you're looking at the cycle, it's like from cardinal, it's chaos to order, and then fixed is maintaining order, and then when it comes to mutable, it's going from order to chaos, basically. And see, even as a fixed sign, it's dealing with sustaining order, but in the process of sustaining order, you have to learn how to manage chaos, because it's a blending. You know what I'm saying? You can't have one without the other. So yeah, you know what I'm saying? That's why fixed signs, their life a lot of times involves a matter of them having the same maybe viewpoint or consistent theme and going towards it. However, what it is that they're doing to maintain that takes them through life experiences of chaos and going through, you know what I'm saying, bouts of whatever it is. That's their battle, you know what I'm saying. Cardinal signs, a lot of times, they trying to initiate order, or, you know what I'm saying, they're dealing with chaos already. So their life is, it's almost like if they were to walk into a classroom, and everybody talking and screaming, they would be the teacher that gotta like figure out a way to get control of the class. If you think about that analogy, right? Think about if a teacher were to come into that class and not do nothing. It would continue on in chaos, right? Nobody would notice. Like, people would just be like, fuck it, we just gonna have it. And that's gonna become the expectation. It's not until that cardinal sign goes into that classroom, right, as the teacher, and turns the lights off, starts counting 1, 2, you know what I'm saying? Anything to start to gain the control. But that teacher had to initiate it, because cardinal signs have to basically look at life as if they are the authority. And this is why things can clash sometimes with other modalities, just based off on the principle. A fixed sign might not want to budge. A mutable sign might not care to pay attention to what you know what I'm saying, where you trying to take things, you know. So, you know, but that's what their battle is. Their battle is coming into the classroom and trying to get everything in order. Now, a mutable sign, they might be too ordered, or come from a space in which others are trying to order them. And a lot of times they be needing to create fluidity. Or, you know, like, even if you think in the case of a Virgo, you know what I'm saying? Like, you might be like, oh, well, Virgo got it all going on a practical level. But a Virgo still needs to make things work, or speak out and criticize what they notice is not working. So, in a sense, Virgos are here to break things down too. You know what I'm saying? All mutable signs be trying to break things down so that they can kind of like, again, go from order to chaos a little bit. But in that chaos, they, you know what I'm saying, they organize things in a different way that's a little bit more creative. So that's why even Virgos, it's like, you might think of Virgos as trying to build on something, but a lot of times Virgos critique to break things down in order to reorganize it. You know what I'm saying? That's what I mean, like mutable signs being involved in chaos, or going from order to chaos. And that's how, like, it might seem like a Virgo is trying to create order, but a lot of times it's like, it's almost like that's their form of chaos. Their form of chaos is breaking things down. You know what I'm saying? Breaking things down so that it can be rebuilt in a way that makes a little more sense, that they can actually have a little more control over. But you know, when we're dealing with this Sagittarius energy, that's really what it's all about: expansion, enlightenment. So from all the energy we might have been dealing with, right? Because see, the self-reflected energy was heavy when the moon was in Scorpio. So we was going through a lot of forms of looking at ourselves and seeing why it is that we are unable to either construct the thing that we're looking to create, or why, you know what I'm saying, we was just kind of answering a lot of those why questions on a deep emotional level if you was in the right headspace. See, if you was in a negative space, you might have been very hard on yourself to the point where you might discourage or talk yourself out of pursuing certain opportunities or going for certain goals, just based upon you not feeling as though you're deserving of them, or whatever delusion you came up with in your mind. Because a lot of that energy can be heavy. We're looking at reality right now, but you got to remember, even reality is malleable. You know what I'm saying? So it's not about you know, you can either choose to accept defeat, or you can figure out how to manage and remix things in your favor. You know what I'm saying? It's really all up to you. That's the whole thing. That's what I just say. Life is what you make it in that sense. You know what I'm saying? Life is whatever the fuck you make it. And, you know, again, you can't put that responsibility on anybody else to start to make sense and make magic from your life. You know, everybody has a fantasy of someone coming to save them. That's just part of the mental retardation that came from this world and the concepts that we was given. But everything is reversed. You got to look at it like no one, absolutely no one can save you but you. So you have to be your own hero, especially at this time. Think about it, man. We just inverted the 7. You know what I'm saying? We was just talking about the 7 and how it's inverted. So it's like, even in that sense, it's like we have to look at things and say, hey, I'm the hero in this story of my story, and there's nobody else that can come save me, and there's nothing else that I can even cling to that will allow, you know what I'm saying, that to play out in that way. You know what I'm saying? It's all on me. And again, not to take that and be depressed about it, but take that with pride, take that in stride and be like, yo, okay, well, shit, let's do it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how you make something shake. And right now, again, we in year 8, so everything is going to come down to your ability to invest yourself into whatever circumstance you're in, and you have to look at it like, damn, it's going to take time. But again, the more you let go of how much time it might take, that be when things end up happening faster than you would have thought. Time fly when you're having fun. So we have to adjust our perspective in order to allow that fun to take place, so that time can move efficiently. But you know, leading into the new moon is going to bring a new way of initiating structure. So again, a lot of what we're doing now is getting rid of old things. Even when it comes to the moon in Sagittarius, assessing our moral system so that we can reformat and reconstruct morally, on a moral level, what it is that we are here to do, what it is that we, you know, how we're looking at things, how we're focused on things. We're here to reconstruct that. That's going to be what the new moon is. But the moon in Sagittarius is giving us the expansion, the ability to challenge old moral systems and see, oh, okay, because that's really, you got to think, that's what expansion is. Expansion is going against what was once there. For this, again, all mutable signs about breaking shit down a lot of times. Like, as a, you know, with the moon in Sagittarius, you're breaking down what was once an organized moral system, but you seeing where that moral system sometimes is not allowing you to travel in the way that you need to travel. So you got to break that mentality down so that you can travel to a newer place, so that your dreams can be manifested, so that what you're trying to build can make sense, can have some kind of deeper meaning behind it that allows it to, you know, be successful, and allows not only you to have faith and believe in it, but others to have faith and believe in it. You know what I'm saying? Because that's really what it comes down to. So with the new moon coming in, we want to take that energy, right, and we want to, you know, use it to create new systems. You know that shit wasn't working last time, but we have to create a new blueprint for it. And then the goal at that point is going to be how well you can manage, maintain, and actually conduct that. Because first it's going to be coming up with the blueprint, then the moon is going to go into Aquarius. That's going to be a matter of you communicating that, you gathering minds, community, and things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? So that we can all focus on the same thing, so that we can, you know what I'm saying, so that we can lead into moon and Pisces, teamwork making the dream work. So communicating those ideas and allowing your status to play a part, you know what I'm saying, using that shit so that you can actually start to network and associate yourself with the right things. Then with the moon in Pisces, again, that's going to be you having time to actually build that dream. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be reacting or responding to dreams, and it's going to be up for you to, again, Capricorn energy, initiate that shit and figure out what the system going to be that's going to make that dream come true. You know what I'm saying? Or what needs to be restricted in order for that dream to survive. Because that's the thing, like I said before, about discipline and organization. Discipline is highly needed right now. Anything that you're doing that you find yourself overindulging in, that's what you're going to have to actually pay a lot more attention to, and apply a lot more focus in order to get that in order. You know what I'm saying? Because even with the moon passing through Venus, you're going to want to expand on pleasures, especially if you feel the pressure of everything you're trying to do. You're going to want to expand on that low key, or use it as a form of escape. And whenever you're using the pleasure as a form of escape, it might feel good, but you know, it's almost like that vicious cycle. I'm doing this pleasure to escape the stress, but the stress is being caused by you not taking the time to actually address the issue. But you too busy trying to relieve the stress to address the issue, when the only thing that's going to really relieve that stress truly is you addressing the fucking issue. But you too busy trying to get relief from it, aka searching from the body to relax the what your spirit got to go through. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a vicious cycle, because that's how addicts are birthed. That's how people who don't even know they're addicts become addicts. Whenever you're trying to do something with the body to soothe something mentally, yeah, every now and then we do need a little, you know, mind fixer, soul reliever, you know, whatever you want to call it. But at the end of the day, if you're not choosing to get up and address the issue, it's still going to be an issue, and that's just going to be your life. Oh yeah, I'm going to always need this drug to satisfy this one thing. I'm going to always need this thing to satisfy this one mentality. And, you know, again, when you start thinking about your life, if that shit gets outweighed, then you already know you fucking up. You know what I'm saying? You don't want to, allow that shit to outweigh you. You know what I'm saying? You got to make sure you the authority when it comes to this shit. And it starts there, you know what I'm saying? And that's the hardest thing to realize on a spiritual level. Everybody got to go through that kind of realization that, holy shit, I am the factor. You know what I'm saying? I am the determinant. You know what I'm saying? I determine whether or not something gonna flow or not. You know what I'm saying? We all have to kind of come to grips with that. And the sooner and quicker you can come to that conclusion, the faster and smoother the rest of your life can be. You know, a lot of people don't be taking heed to that, and they get caught up in whatever the fuck going on that they can't, you know what I'm saying? It's like, it's so many different things that just be having you looking crazy and looking stupid. It's like, man, we all got to do better when it comes to that. You know what I'm saying? We all got to do better when it comes to that. And when I say we all, I'm just talking about, like, yeah, like, everybody got to do, you know, that's a challenge for everybody. But yeah, so that's what the moon and Sagittarius really talk about. You know what I'm saying? It's talking about how well you can kind of manage that energy and doing what you can do on that end. You know what I'm saying? So that's what you want to do in that regard. You know what I'm saying? You want to make sure that you are still playing out the authority role when it comes to the different things you got going on in your life. Only you can organize it. You know what I'm saying? Or again, we approaching Pluto, so you don't want to be in a situation where that shit get transformed for you. Things get organized for you, because that's how you end up in jobs that really ain't got nothing to do with what you trying to do. That's how you end up in situations and circumstances that's just completely opposite to what the fuck you trying to have going on, due to the fact that you not managing it. When God got to step in, and not in a way where you co-creating, at that point it's just circumstance. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's the worst position you could be in as a spirit, when life making decision for you, aka you just falling into different things that, because it's kind of like rolling dice, you know what I'm saying? And based upon what's on your mind, if you, the reason you're not in that position is because of your negative perspective, there you have it. You already fucked up. You know what I'm saying? Because whatever you're going to manifest is going to be just the result of that. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you manifest is going to be that. You know what I'm saying? It's going to be the result of you not knowing what the fuck you want to do in the first place. And here you are now, looking crazy. You know what I'm saying? Looking crazy, looking stupid. It's all on you. You know what I'm saying? So we have to initiate that shit. We have to be the controls of that shit. So this is like new moon and Cap. It's like a new way to be a boss. Like, you know what I'm saying? Being a boss to your new self. Your new self playing the role of a boss. And it's like a matter of, okay, how you gonna organize this shit? You know? So right now, you know, with the moon and Sagittarius, just, you know, it's about expanding on what it is that the vision is. You know, expand on that shit and get yourself to a place where you can execute that shit. And even if you feel like you can't, start to develop thoughts and feelings as if you can, and start to do what you can to make that real. But break it down. You know, cool thing about Earth transits is all about breaking it down. And see, we got some help, because we got Jupiter and Uranus, right? Jupiter is allowing you to experience it, but you have to ground it. So whatever house you have Taurus in, that's what you have to ground and keep consistent. If you stay consistent there and apply passion in the place that Capricorn is at, that combination will allow for whatever's coming through in that Pisces house to be played out. You know what I'm saying? Or at least the dream to start to make sense to you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever goal or creative idea you're trying to manifest for yourself. But moon and Sagittarius, you want to go through that friction with the moon in Sagittarius and Pisces, and Saturn and Neptune and Pisces. You want to go through that frustration so that you can iron out a clear vision, one that's not diluted or mixed in with a bunch of delusions and things that you just can't achieve, you know, or not supposed to achieve. You feel me? So anyway, I'm gonna have that video, or no, because I already made the other video, so that's going up before this one. But yeah, much love, and I'll catch you on the next one. But yeah, actually, I am gonna make that. That's what I was talking about, the new moon video. I'm still gonna come up with that one. So, you know, be on the lookout for that shit. Much love. Catch you on the next one.